Is it really possible to radically change? I don't have a perfect answer, but here I want to elaborate on incremental change versus and/or radical change. I'll give you a couple of examples. Without wanting to overly stretch the metaphor of like physical exercise, if you want to build muscle, I would say this tends more towards incremental change. Okay, let's say you want to train your abdomen, you want to have this sexy six-pack, or you want to have more like muscles on your pectoris or something like that, then it usually makes more sense to work towards incremental change, because if not, bluntly put, you will just hurt yourself or maybe even like destroy some parts of your body. Secondly, for example, if you want to learn a language, that's actually a very good example of like incremental change, right? It's like nobody, even very talented people, can learn a language in a day, all right? That takes a couple of months, a couple of years. So this, again, like continuous incremental change. Imagine if you're only able to do, let's say, I don't know, let's say you can only do 5 push-ups, or you can only do 5 repetitions with a certain weight. Then you can just continuously build that. And then maybe after half a year or 2 years or 3 years, then you really have like built muscle, for example, or you can really speak a new language. So much about incremental change. Radical change. I sometimes have the feeling in my life, but also perceiving others, that sometimes it's easier to radically change a pattern. I certainly know from my addiction issues that for me it has always been easier to like stop smoking and just like stop smoking, right? Like you don't smoke a little bit. Some people can do that. I'm happy for them. Again, I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just trying to like speak about like incremental change versus radical change. The same is definitely true with my like addiction to marijuana. The same is definitely true to my addiction to alcohol. So these patterns for me, I always found it way easier to just completely go like straight edge, or like, let's say, go sober, instead of trying to like drink less or smoke less cigarettes. A couple of other examples. A pretty drastic example for me is, since I'm so much an extrovert, is sometimes I radically need to change into a very different operating mode. And this different operating mode is if I go on a, like, let's say, silent retreat. So a silent retreat is obviously like the complete radical opposite of like entrepreneur plus coach lifestyle plus a lot of friends plus a lot of travels, a lot of input, a lot of doing, to really turn into a silent retreat. But I often find that really refreshing. So I recommend, usually where the biggest pain is also the biggest revelation and the biggest growth curve. Be truthful to yourself. Is it more of an incremental change, more of a pattern that you want to like continuously change a bit and a bit and a bit? Or is it in some aspects of your life also to really radically cut with a pattern and really like completely rewrite a pattern in your life?